Sorry it took me so long to kind of get this stuff set up, but I am now ready to kind of start sharing this stuff with you guys. Hopefully, you guys are having a good week so far. Hopefully, you guys are, learning 3D, learning whatever you need to. Your lives are kind of getting back to some semblance of normalcy. I don't know if you guys have a ETA for your return to school, but
Professor, you're muted.
I am muted. I am muted. Perfect. Thank you. I'm over here having cold conversations with nobody. All right, cool. Yeah. So hopefully you guys are doing better now. Uh, Pretty much, we have been working on our Mario level. Everybody should have picked something that they're working on. You should have at least 3 or 4 that you've been working on: high poly, low poly, texturing, working on your drawing. So today, I kind of have something I consider a little more fun. I don't know if you guys would, but we're going to take the character that we made and we're going to try to kind of rig it out, and I'll show you a cool technique to rigging that stuff out. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully, you guys are learning a bunch and practicing your 3D skills in the process. So let's see what we got here. All right, so this is our physical camera. I'm gonna move over, but this is our character here. So as you can see, we've got this high quality mode on. I'm going to turn it back to standard, and we'll have now kind of a standard view. So the first thing I kind of want to do is I think our character might be a little big. So let's make a box. And so yeah, our character kind of stands about 15 feet tall right now. So let's make our character about 6 feet. So Control V. Okay, so now our character needs to fit inside of this cube. So the way I'm kind of checking this is, I'm going to go into my unit setup. We've got feet and decimal inches set up, and if I go to click my system units, 1 unit is 1 inch, and that's fine. So now one is 1 inch. So now I want 6 feet. So that's 6 feet right there. So now all I have to do is grab my character here and then just hit R. I'm just gonna scale it down, and grab Z. Let's make sure. That's 6 feet, and I'm pretty sure this character ain't no goddamn 6 feet. I'm almost certain. Little cat toadette ain't no 6 feet tall. So I'm just gonna make just a little smaller. Just make sure that kind of fits this little envelope that we have here. Let's see, make sure that all of these are still their own thing. That's fine. All right, so now we've got our character here. What I'm not gonna do is I'm gonna take these guys here. I might just move them out. Let's see. We might have an issue with that. Another thing I want to do is I want to turn these hands so that that stuff is facing the other way. So I'm gonna go into my edit poly, select these guys. I'm just gonna rotate them. Make sure they're rotated this way. Kind of 180 degrees. Move this guy down a little bit to fit like so. And I'm just gonna fix my material on here. Let's fix le material. So let's grab our white and then just gonna set the ID to 1. Alright, so now I've got my ID set up. Got my hands, so it's kind of like they're, you know, this character's, it's got their hands kind of outstretched. So like it's like palms out essentially. Um, but I think I might hide these before I try to do my auto rig setup. But you know, when we get there. So I'm gonna group this guy up. Let's actually tool. Let's rename objects. Cat, catty toadette, cat toadette underscore. And then we'll just do T-pose. So this T-pose kind of helps the auto rigging, and that's kind of why I opted to do it that way. Was my idea was I'm gonna try to auto rig it so that I'll have something that I can use in the later on process. So let's see. Now we've got our cat toadette here. Now let's group, and then I'm gonna go just cat underscore toadette. All right, so now I've got my cat toadette W. You know, I like to zero out, right? I want to zero out just so I know that it's on the XYZ axis right there. So now it's at the 0, 0 origin of the world. All right, and we can even do the same to this box. So you know that our character kind of fits in that envelope. So now let's just hide this, and we're gonna export this guy like so. I don't even care about all this stuff. I think my main thing is I think I just wanna kind of show you guys the cool stuff that you can do. I've already renamed you. I can remove that now. So let us actually right click. I'm gonna convert this guy to an editable poly, and then file, export selected, and then I'm gonna do Mario, and I'm gonna do cat underscore toadette, and then save that. Do we want to preserve edge orientation? Yeah, that's fine. There's no animations. We're gonna try to add some. No lights, nothing. Everything else is fine. 2018, 2019, 2020. Doesn't really matter. I use those settings for work, so I'll just leave those. Now, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to navigate yourselves to a website called Mixamo. Mixamo.com, and I have an account with them, so it's free to set up an account. So let me just sign in, and you guys can't just steal my account. That's not gonna happen. All right, so I've logged in. Let me see what character I was working on last. Oh, no character. I was not working on anything recently. So it usually saves the last upload of the character that you brought in, which is a pretty cool feature. So now I'm gonna upload my character. Let's select character from file, and we can even drag and drop it to it. So like I can find my. Let's go. Open this file location, and then just drag and drop my FBX into that dialog window, just like so. Wait a minute, it's gonna process our character. Bing bang boom, bada bada bing bing bing, and then we're gonna get, oh no, we've got blackface toadette. What is this? Oh my goodness, this is very insensitive, Toadette. I didn't know you rolled like this. Okay, so let's go back into Max, and let's fix our normal issues. So let's go Tools. Let's actually group. Let's open this guy up, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use. Just gonna Control A. I'm gonna clear all. Do another auto smooth on that guy, and I'll just do a retopology on it, just to retopologize, because I think that's the issue. I think our retopology on this guy might be might be out of whack. Alright, much better. Alright, so I'll stick with this. This is fine. I'm gonna now I can check my normal. I'm gonna hit N on the keyboard. I'm gonna check my normal. Alright, so my normals are fine. I'm gonna go to edit poly now. Check my normals again. Well, it looks like they're all flipped. Now I just flip them back around. Alright. So now my normals should not be flipped. And so I'm just gonna Alt. So I actually just want to export this. So File, Export Selected, and then cat-toe that. We're gonna try that again. See if this fixes our issue. Let's go back and now re-import our character. Another way to check it would be to double click this and see. Okay, it looks right. It looks right at the very least in my FBX previewer here. Apart from the glowing eyes, of course. What's wrong with the face now? Okay, so we fixed one. Now let's fix the other. Probably fix that. So let's see, group. Yeah, we had a normal. Oh, maybe that's what messed it up. So let's select all of these. I'm gonna actually cut that. I'm gonna unify my normals. That's what I did. Let's go edit poly. And then, oh, it's this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Flip it around. Control I. And now I think these guys are flipped. Flip these guys. Alright. I think that should fix it. I've been known to be wrong though. Let's file export. Export selected. Cat-toe that. Alright, let's see if that fixed our issue. Alright, it's trial and error, export settings and figuring out what works. If you guys don't have, if you guys don't see me go through stuff like that, you guys won't know how to fix it yourselves. So it's good that things like this kind of happen. So you guys can see how you should troubleshoot it and do it yourself. All right, so we're gonna have to do the same thing we did to that original mesh, which is retopologize, and I think that will fix our issue. So let us let's cut this out. Group open. Is there something wrong with this guy? Okay. I'm gonna actually detach this guy from detach, and then I'm gonna retopologize. Retopology, compute. Boop, boop, beep, boop, beep, beep, beep. All right. Now we have retopologized. Okay. Maybe that was just the color. Maybe that was just the color. Okay, let me I'm looking for my skin material. Let's go here. All right, cool. I'm just gonna save over. Just keep saving over. All right, that should fix it. So when you need like the Mario music. Do 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 do. There we go. All right, next. So another thing that you can do is you can use the symmetry mode if your mesh is symmetrical to uh, help in the process. This is symmetrical enough. It's not perfect, but so let's see. I'll pretend these are the knees, and then I'll find the groin, and I think this should. So I can change the kind of skeletons I have. It's got no fingers, so yeah. Here we go. So it's just gonna make an envelope for the hand part of it, but we should get something pretty interesting here in a bit. So let's see what we get. It's gonna do its magic. Boom, boom, bing, 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 bing. All right. While it does that, I will regale you with tales from my past. Back in the day, I don't have any tales from my past to tell you guys. But yeah, it takes a little bit for this thing to do its thing. So we will just wait, I guess. That's all we can do for this guy to do its thing. Looks kind of happy though. Yay! I wish I was that happy. I've never thought about how it would handle the tail though. It's kind of interesting. Never thought about the tail because it's got like essentially 3 tails because those 2 things are. So that's probably what's holding it up. That's probably what's like. If it's getting hung up on anything, it's probably like, oh, what do you want me to do with these floating pieces of mesh, and what do you want me to do with Uh-oh, let's see what we got. Alright, oh, it's gonna look terrible. Are you guys ready for this? It's gonna look terrible because of the tail. Alright, let's try it. Let's see what it looks like. Oh no! Alright, let's put an animation on it. So, like, to select an animation to put on, you're gonna want to select one of these guys. So let's see, which should be our first test? Let's see. Ooh. Oh no. Wait, the tail didn't do that bad. It's what I said was gonna mess up that messed up, right? Those 2 balls. Those floating things. It has a horrible time with this. So the way that you would solve this would be you would take those off, and then you would bring your rig and the accompanying mesh and everything back into 3ds Max, and then you would parent them back to the model. So whatever character movement it does, it will follow a part of that joint, a part of that body, or whatever bone you attach it to. But what it's trying to do is it's trying to add a bone to those things, and it's having an issue with it when it's trying to skin it. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, it's like he has wings, or it's like she has wings now. This is good stuff. So what was that? What was that? I wish there was like a cat. Let me see there. Anything cat related? Okay, it's a catwalk. Ugh, that is hideous. Quite hideous. That's awesome. All right, yeah, let's re-export this guy, and let's remove those floaters from there. All right, so say group open. I'm just gonna select all, deselect these guys, and then file, save selected. No, actually, nope. File, export selected. Sorry about that. Cat toadette. Save. Yes. Okay, and yeah, this should be hopefully this is it. And it's gonna have some funky issues just because our character doesn't have like legs and stuff, but it'll look a lot better than this. So let's upload our character. have you guys ever thought about making any characters, or have you guys made any characters or anything like that? Because I know somebody's made a toad, but I don't know if you guys have tried to like rig it yourself or anything. This would be a pretty simple way to do that. So maybe I can take off symmetry. I'm just gonna put the chin here, put one wrist there, one wrist there, elbows. It's pretty easy. You just kind of drag and drop these guys. So maybe, I think maybe we'll make these the knees and see how it works. No. Just gonna make these the knees and see if this. Alright, so 3 fingers. Yeah, I'll just do the standard. And yeah, hit next. So yeah, I got rid of those floating fur ball things behind her. Wow. This is a waiting game. Hopefully you guys are doing good. I think I was talking to Batoy. I think we've got about 3 weeks left, right? Of the class.
Yeah, that's what I think.
It's pretty good. Alright. Let's see if that helped. No, I'm gonna go back and okay, and then I'm gonna bring this guy up. It's like right there. Hopefully that'll help us fare better. So, and this is one of the limitations of Mixamo, which is it only does really well with like bipedal. So like legs, 2 arms, and a head. And it doesn't do any facial mocap or facial rigging or anything. So if you want any kind of facial mocap or facial rigging, you'd have to do that yourself. Or there's another tool that you can use. It escapes my mind now, but there are some pretty decent rigs out there that you can use for facial rigging. And just skipping my head. Alright, let's see how this guy does this time with our preview. That's not bad. I think that's the probably gonna be the best. We're gonna get the cat combat. No, it's just combat. So that's the that's the cool thing about Mixamo is you can kind of quickly start messing with a character and getting a decent rig in there if you're not an expert rigger. And what it does is, it's right now it's making it right now it's making it look like Gumby, but you can really export the rig out. You can just do a pose, right? So if you don't have let's do a T pose. So you can essentially use it to get, you know, different poses. You know, I think the smile is what makes it kind of hilarious. Oh man, this is a pretty action pose right there. There you go. Man, I think that's what it looks like on the poster. So from here you can really start to build whatever you need to build, and I've used this stuff for a lot of some of my personal projects. So like I have characters that I've used Mixamo to animate. So like I have I'll show you guys some of the stuff that I'm talking about. So let's see. So stuff like this. So you can use it. I made the character and then I used all of those to kind of export some of the fighting sequences and some of the dances and stuff like that. So you can really get really far with just some of these really simple tools that are available to you guys. And if you guys ever have any questions about like doing anything like this or like trying to make your own stuff or trying to feel free to ask, and I'll be more than happy to share what little knowledge I have or whatever I can point you at. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's gonna be pretty much it for the class. It's just showing you guys how I'd approach that. Does anybody have any questions for me? This is pretty much it. Just bringing it into Mixamo. I mean, I guess let me show you how to get it out of Mixamo. I think that would be quite valuable as well. So I've got my my cool little kitty pose here. So I can just download my character, download it like that. I've got my action pose here. Now I can file, import, merge my character from my downloads. Let's do all files and action pose. Okay. Right, and this is right, and it comes back, So now I've got my character posed, ready to go. So now let me see, unhide all. Now let's move this guy in place. So yeah, it's pretty close to what Toadette was doing. So let's do FZ. And so I've got my skin, and the cool thing now is since it's rigged, I have a rig now for my character. Alright, so let me let's hide everything else again just so I can show you what I'm talking about. Now I've got a rig for my character. So now I can let's grab these bones in here and then start using that to pose further the character, to refine the pose that I have. Right, I couldn't do this before because I didn't have a rig for it. Now I've got a rig that I can work with and I can use to animate. Right, I can use that to now live animate my own characters. So this is, if you guys want to make a game and you want to do your own thing, this is like where you would go to kind of start stuff like that. You get a rig for your character, you get the character made, and the barrier for entry for you guys is a lot lower than where it was for me. This stuff didn't exist when I was going to school. you know, so we can, you know, we've got a rig now. It would take a studio weeks to get to this level, right? We got here in under 45 minutes, right? This is insane levels of technology that I feel like you guys should be utilizing, you know, almost on a daily basis. Figure out what I can do with this stuff, where you can go with it, because that's really gonna be where this, you know, all this kind of stuff goes. And you know, look, this stuff looks, you know, clunky and funky as hell, but you know, you guys, I think you guys get the point, right? You guys can start from zero and get somewhere relatively quickly, right? Relatively quicker than you would have in the past, right? You know, this is, I just showed you guys disciplines that would kind of span three different, you know, jobs essentially, right? The animator, the rigger, the 3D modeler, and the texture artist, right? Like that's 3 or 4 jobs that you can now kind of do by yourself, and you can do on your own, and get stuff out. And this stuff is all available to you guys, right? And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Free, free, free. That was free. All of this is free. You can rig your own characters for free. You can make your own game for free right now. Like, you guys should be getting together, getting in groups, saying, hey, who got the best characters? Who got the best models? Who got the best assets, right? Put out a little trailer, put out a little demo, put out a little game, do something, right? Like, get out there and figure out what it is that you can and can't do with this stuff. You guys, it's your job to push the boundaries. If this is what y'all want to do, y'all got to get out there. Y'all got to push those boundaries. Y'all got to, you know, look at the technology and say, all right, you know, my friend makes music. How can I use this 3D stuff to bring it to life? Or my friend has a lawn company or an architecture firm. How can I use my 3D to expand it, right? That's how you guys should be thinking and using this technology while you're learning it. And you know, the possibilities are endless for you guys. So, you know, I just hope you guys, you know, enjoy some of this stuff, and you guys can take some of this stuff with you. So let me finish up what I was doing here, so I can let you guys go on your merry way. So let's shift drag this, make it a copy, and then I'm gonna convert this to an editable poly, and now my character is it's kind of stuck that way. So I've kind of baked that pose into it. So if I hit N on my keyboard, there's no keyframes. And the beauty is, like, with this, like, check this out. Like, just you know, to beat a dead horse, you know, so if I hit N on my keyboard and I hit auto key right there, and then I hit E, right, I can start to animate, right? Like, it's crazy the level of stuff that you guys can do that you guys don't know you can do yet. So, and that's why I want you guys to, you know, really be dedicated to stuff like this, and really get out there, and don't be afraid to try and fail at shit. You know, it's okay. It's okay if you fail. It's okay if you mess it up. It's okay if your mesh looks like this the first 30 times. That's okay, right? Nobody got to see it. You can do it on your own, right? Like, it's okay. Mess it up a few times, but you'll get it eventually, and that's the point. You'll get it. You'll understand it. You'll get better at it. The next one you do will be better. The next one, you know, and that's how you guys kind of start leveling up on this stuff. So I've got my character here. I'm going to hide this. Let's actually, I'm going to select this guy, unhide all, and then just kind of scale this guy up. Let's do effects and an object. Yeah. I'm gonna group this guy up. Oh, can I group this guy? I'm actually gonna, let's just delete that guy. Let's unlink, and then group. Okay. So if you're trying to group something and it's not grouping, chances are it's linked to something. So what I did there was I just selected it, and then I hit this chain with the line through it, that means I unlink it. So I just unlinked it from whatever it was linked to, and then it allowed me to group it back up. So that was that brief second of frustration on my face. That's what you guys saw there. It's just annoying. So like oh, and I didn't even parent it to it yet, so that's my fault. So this is a little, it's a little janky, but you guys get the point. I would, if I were you guys, I'd take my time and kind of get that guy looking nice and right and pose it yourself and stuff. So let's do Shift F3. Let's do C1. And then we can start getting something that looks pretty cool. Let's go Shift L. All right, so that's gonna be it for today. That's pretty much how I would go about, trying to rig something like that and trying to pose it, and you know, um, I haven't rigged anything like hand rigged anything in a long time, and it's it's not that hard. It's just really tedious. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and you guys got a little use out of this, and maybe you guys will use it sometime in the future. By that time, maybe the features are a little more robust. Because right now it only like I said, supports bipedal characters, so it only supports human beings essentially, or aliens that have humanoid structures. So it doesn't do animals. It doesn't do robot like not monopedal or anything with tails or things like that. So that's it. Any questions for me? I'll take that as a no. Okay, if you guys don't have any questions